Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes and getting likes, hitting dingers, getting listeners back again. This is another Brewer Fanatics special edition video. Uh, the April review is what we're calling this. Basically, we're going to talk about the Brewer season so far, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. You know, I do these things every day. So obviously, the good, we are in second place at 18 and 10. Um, we've won a lot of series. We've only had really two series that really went to sideways on us, and it's been fun. It's been a fun ride so far. We got the freshmen coming up, starting with Joey Weimer, my personal fave. Was one of the first to come up of the Young Bucks. Um, Garrett Mitchell was an assumed already had the roster spot, so I wouldn't consider that. But we also had Turing open with the team, and we've really seen some good things from these guys. Starting in that opening series, the grand slam for Turing for the first home run. You saw Weimer's home run in Game 3, um, and we've seen good pitching from Miley, Peralta. We've had a couple little hiccups with Burns and Woody. Woody is now currently out, albeit we have not seen a lot of issue from that. I mean, it hasn't really held us back. We've had a lot of injuries, and I'm going to go into this real brief. I'm not going to do a full deep dive. If you want to see the deep dive, I actually did that on my month's review on the podcast yesterday. So if you go back and look at the April review on the podcast, but let's talk about the injuries and kind of where we stand with injuries and moves as of right now. Um, so as always, the Brewers send people up and send people down, and it's part of the injury process. It's part of this whole process of what happens here in Milwaukee. Um, but the big one that came right away was Colin Ray in replacement of Brandon Woodruff. Brandon Woodruff um, is on the road back now, but it still says that right now we're looking till June. So I know he wants to get back out there. We did acquire another pitcher on the 30th of April, final day of April, Trevor McGill, previously with the Twins and Cubs with the 6.03 ERA in 67 appearances. He's got sent to Nashville. So he's just a guy, another piece in the wings. We are going to be seeing Tyrone Taylor coming back. It looks like they've already optioned Blake Perkins. So he should be set to be back for the first game in the month of May. Adrian Hauser is expected to be activated later this week. We'll see a corresponding move for that, of course. We traded Javi Guerra after Javi Guerra had no success, basically. So we're starting to see these guys come back. Gus Varland has been working in Appleton, so we should see him as well. We'll report on a corresponding move on the podcast once that comes. Of course, he's got to stay on the major league roster because he is that Rule 5 pick. Matt Bush, late May. He's had some blow up innings, so hopefully he can come back. And maybe he just was playing hurt and trying to keep his spot. We don't know. He's kind of a guy who's he's been to prison, so he's trying to reform his career. Garrett Mitchell lost for the year, unfortunately. Luis Urias is a late May expectation. He was injured in the first game. And Aaron Ashby is still out for the season. Justin Wilson, who we signed well injured, is going to be back in July, and Jason Alexander is late May, early June. So we should be getting stronger here. But we've been playing good despite injuries. I mean, 18 and 10 to start the season is not bad. Up until we've only lost a total of 2 series so far. So that's really nothing to scoff at. Just looking at the overall picture of things, I'm really excited. I think everybody should be really excited about where we've started this regular season, especially compared to where we thought we would be. We've turned the calendar over officially to March, but our excuse me, little frog. Already this month, we or last month, I should say, we've beaten the Cubs, the Mets in a three-game sweep, the Cardinals. D-backs took a series from us, beat the Padres. We swept the Mariners. We did get the series, lose the series to Boston. We lost the series to Detroit, but we won the series against the Angels to finish up the month. And we're starting out with the Rockies and the Giants, two below 500 teams. So I really look forward to what this team's going to do. We come back home to play the Dodgers, which should be kind of an interesting matchup, seeing where they are and how they've been playing. So really good stuff going so far. The other thing that stands out, if you want to take a look at the stat leaders. Um, there's some things you're going to notice. Our highest played player is not the top of the batting average mark, but not the top of the leaderboard for all but one thing, really. But that's okay. I'd rather have on base Christian Yelich than no Christian Yelich at all. You know, um, our batting average champ going into going into May is Wilson Contreras. Told you I'd do it. I said I'd do it. William Contreras at a 295 batting average. But let's look at his 2023 season so far. This guy has hit in pretty much like all the games he's played in. I mean, he's contributed, and that's important. He's had 78 bats so far, uh, 8 runs, 23 hits, one homer, 7 RBIs, and he's got 295 batting average, 382 OPS, and a 779 OPS. He has been good. Another one that of note that deserves mention here is Brian Anderson. And let's look at Brian Anderson's line. He's got 20 RBIs. He's been just hitting the tar out of the ball. He's 98 at bats, 16 runs, 25 hits, 5 homers, 20 RBIs, 0 stolen bases. He's batting at solid 255 with a 330 OBP and a 789 OPS, which remember, that's that target number that we talked about in the preseason. So it's really good. Another highlight on the year runs batted in, our good friend Rowdy. Rowdy is making waves in the 2023 season. I forgot to mention William Contreras also ranks at the top for he's in the top 25 right now for batting average on the season. So, of the MLB, we're one of the top teams in the MLB as of right now. Number 4 in the power rankings, depending on which one you look at. We could be I mean, 3 or 4, depending on who you go by, The Athletic, or you go by MLB, or you go by ESPN or CBS Sports. It doesn't matter. We're still at the top 10 on most power rankings. So Rowdy has 85 at bats, 14 runs, 21 hits, 8 homers, 20 RBIs, 247, 333, and 886. Guy has been heating up as of late, so he's another one to watch, and enjoy. The freshman, so to speak, Terang and Weimer, the two remaining, at this juncture have kind of been up and down, and that's to be expected with rookie seasons. But the one thing Weimer's been doing right now is he's been turning on with the defense in the outfield. So it's been really exciting to see that. So we've got a couple leaders as far as guys with 4 wins, and they're up there in the top. Corbin Burns. You're going to talk about Lauer. You're going to talk about Wade Miley. These guys are right up there with wins for this season so far. Then, of course, Freddie Peralta. And then Freddie Peralta and Miley are leading some other categories we'll highlight real quick in the pitching recap. So Wade Miley has a 1.86 ERA, That's right up next to Shohei Ohtani's ERA so far. So that's really solid. Freddie Peralta has 31 strikeouts, and Wade Miley's WHIP is 1.00. And of course, Devin Williams has 5 saves. Honorable mention though, Bryce Wilson has 3 saves. Why his saves are significant? 3 inning saves. So that is the majority of the stats that I wanted to cover today. Again, like I said, we are 18-10, 1.5 back of these Pirates who are. If you haven't watched a Pirates game yet, watch a Pirates game. They're entertaining. They've been pretty good so far. Um, Ballpark experience has been pretty good. Like I said, these games are a different animal. I think part of the reason, and I go deeper into this in the podcast, but part of the reason I feel like we're seeing different leaders right now is because these teams are constructed differently. Younger players are more adapt to these rules already. Um, and let's be honest, guys, this is a product of the depth. The depth that we were questioning, I was questioning, I personally was questioning this depth of a team that we had. This team is actually doing well. It's a lot better than we thought it would be. And I personally will correct myself on these. Some of these guys, you wouldn't expect a Colin Ray to come in and be getting these starts and striking out 9. I mean, he struck out 9 on Sunday. How solid is that? That is one of the pieces that I think is the biggest surprise because Colin Ray has come in. He's had kind of unfortunate circumstance because he hasn't notched a win yet. He's got 2 losses, of 4.79 ERA, but this guy's blow up starts, or starts have not been blow up starts. If you look at his last 3 major league starts, he went 5 innings, he gave up 3 hits, 4 runs in games where we really just didn't score. 4 runs in Detroit and 4 runs in Seattle. Only 2 against the Angels on Sunday. Striking out 9, striking out 1, striking out 2. And these were all couple run victories. They weren't big victories, except for I think with the exception of maybe Detroit is where we got blew up by the bullpen. Uh, won't quote me on that, but 20 innings pitched so far for him. He's eaten up some innings, kept us in some games. And he's gone 5 innings each time out. So solid replacement, solid, and maybe we'll get him some wins and give him some run support here in the near future. Who knows? All right, guys, that's really all I wanted to cover today in today's video. We've got a lot of good baseball to come. We are a small chunk into the season, 28 games, not even a full 30 games yet. So we are rolling right along. Daily podcast. Look down below. You can see where we are: Rumble, Apple, YouTube, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Pocket Cast, you name it, we are there. And of course, BrewsFanatic.com. Love the community here. Guys, click on over to the page, check us out, subscribe. If you want to talk Brewers with me, you're more than welcome. Reach out to me on Twitter, Miller Minute. Thanks. Have a great day, guys, and go Brewers.